Yo boys and girls, it's your boy Diversity here, back with another video. This time we're doing, again, like I always say, something a bit different. We're going to be ranking the best Southend United team I think I've ever seen, watched for the last 20 odd years. I'm only doing 20 years as I don't want to go too far back in case some of the younger fans don't know what I'm on about and just skip the video. So no, I'm just going to do it for the last 20 years. If you guys want to see maybe a 2000 to 1980s team or something like that, leave a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe and all that love. And that's the begging done for. Now let's kick on in the video. So before I get into this video, boys and girls, I'm going to make a quick apology about the last video. It wasn't the best quality, I can understand. I said a few teams' names wrong, which I do feel bad about, which lots of people started pointing out, so thank you all you lot, you did your job. But nah, I am a bit sorry about the I call them Burton Athletic, like Charlton Athletic, where it's Burton Albion. I said that, and instead of just saying, I said Wimbledon instead of AFC Wimbledon. You know, it was just a bit of a mess of a video, so I do apologise about that. But I thought the video was fair enough, but no, once watching it back, it is quite bad. So just before we get in, I'm just going to say sorry about that. Anyway, kicking on into the video now, we're going to start off in the goalkeeper from the heart of the team, and it is going to be Daniel Bentley. Reason for that, he's a youth graduate at Southend. He came through the youth system, and you think he made his debut in a penalty shootout, replacing our keeper at the time, who was Paul Stark. I think not Paul Stark, Paul Smith was the keeper. I'm getting the names right today. Yeah, I think he was brought on by Paul Stark or Phil Brown, one of the others, because he had a good saving record. He came on, and he did, I think, win it for us. I'll have to double check that game, but I'm pretty sure he did. And ever since then, he kicked on. Ever since then, every game, we could always rely on him in goal. And then he did break the record at Southend for the most clean sheets, the most minutes, unconceded goals. I think it was 11 clean sheets in a row and 1,046 minutes without conceding a goal against 11 teams. I'll pull up a photo here. It was released by Southend when the record was set, so I'll definitely pull that up for everyone. But yeah, I can't really find anyone to replace him. Flahaven was close for that. We've had a few decent keepers during that time, but Flahaven doesn't just make that cut for me. Even though he did get back-to-back promotions, I had more faith in Bentley. When someone was running at him with the ball, I could always predict, like, yeah, he's going to save this or he's going to parry it wide. It's not going to go in. I was just so confident in our keeper at the time, so I put Daniel Bentley in goal quite strong. Moving into the fullbacks now, boys and girls, the right back and left back. I picked both of these players at the same time because I thought when they both played for us in these positions at these times, we were brutal with coming back, defending, attacking, crosses, free kicks, everything. I thought it was brilliant. And that is John White at right back and Ben Coker at left back. Reason for those two, like I just said, we were so much better. Coker, with those amazing free kicks he always has, he was able to run up and down the line so quickly, make it look easy. And yeah, just I can't say much more. That tackle at Wembley always brings back great memories. For anyone who doesn't know, when we played Wycombe in the final at Wembley, Wycombe were through on goal. I think it was in the 118th minute. Coker charged all the way back. Their strike, I think it was, Paul Smith or something. I think it's his name from Wycombe. He went round Bentley, and as he was about to shoot, Coker ran all the way back from the halfway line across the field and slide tackled him at the last possible second before he shot and put it out for a corner. And I always remember that to this day as one of the greatest tackles I've ever seen from a Southend United player. Even if it's on the line, that goal or that prevention kept us in that game. And then 2 minutes later, we went and scored down the other end. It was a brilliant thing. And John White, you can't say much else. He was a captain for us for so many years. He's a leader. He's a great vocal player on the pitch and off the pitch. Does lots for charity behind that. Does lots for the club behind there. He's almost like that Mr. Southend. When you think of Southend, when those players come to mind, you've got like Adam Barrett, Spencer Pryor, Freddie Eastwood, and always John White. I will mention in that. If anyone mentions who is your Southend player, it would be John White. He's been here this long, and he's gone through the best of managers and worst managers. He's been here since Paul Stark, and now he's gone through Phil Brown, Chrissy Powell, Kevin Bond, Gary Waddock, and now he's at Sol Campbell. He's been through all those managers, could have left at any time, but no, he has stayed with us. So those two fullbacks, I think, were our best. Moving into the centre-backs now, boys and girls, we're going to be going with Adam Barrett and the late Chris Barker. We're going to start off with Chris Barker here. Well, first off, we have to say rest in peace to him. It was a couple of weeks ago now that he did pass away due to depression and all that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but no, it is sad that a Southend legend who scored a screamer of a goal against Crewe Alexandra. I'll try and find that shot or that clip somewhere, put it around here. But no, I always remember that he was in one of arguably our weakest teams. When Paul Stark took over, we had a decimated squad. We only had about 8 senior players there, and Paul Stark came and he bought free players, he bought cheap players, and Chris Barker was one of them. He came into the squad, and we went all the way to Wembley against Leighton Orient. No, not Leighton Orient. Played them in the semi-final, and then we went against Crewe in the final at Wembley, and it was just unlucky we lost on the day. However, I just thought he's always been that leader, that captain, that vocal voice, and that he should always be mentioned in this team. And Adam Barrett, yeah, like I said about John White, he is Mr. South, and he's been here so many times, played so many games for us. I always have to think he was our ideal centre-back. Even when he came back for that last little spell, he had Adam Thompson next to him, I think it was, maybe even Luke Prosser. But no, he must have given them so much influence, so much training in the game just to make this, like, to make them players better than what they can be, as he was always that defender which would get involved in everything, be up for headers, even if it was a corner kick coming in. Most famously, I remember his goal against Colchester, and he ran all the way down the other end and celebrated with the Blues fans. Gotta remember that one quite well. But no, boys and girls, those two are my ideal centre-backs. Big, strong, bit of speed about them, great at tackling, great at heading, great game vision all the way around. So Chris Barker and Adam Barrett, welcome to the team. So moving into the right mid and left mid here, boys, we're going for the 4-4-2 standard formation. We're going to have on the right Mark Gower and on the left Frank Musa. We're going to start off with Mark Gower here. He came in from it was confusing how he came in. He was going to be going to Barnet FC before us, but yeah, he was at Tottenham one day, and then he told him he's not going to be playing anymore, he's going to leave. So he had the choice, I think, Barnet or Southend, and Southend came in at the last minute and snuck him away from Barnet. But no, he was, in his first season, I did some reading online, he wasn't the best of players, apparently. He was a bit unfit, not very quick up and down the lines or with his vision, but after he got over those first few months, he was a great player. He got us back-to-back promotions. And yeah, he was that quick, reliable, experienced player you could always rely on. He had played at a higher level, so you knew straight away, right, he's going to bring something to this team that maybe other wingers don't have. I think he did that really well. He scored a few goals, got plenty of assists, so he definitely takes that right mid position for me. And left mid, this one was a bit difficult because I was going through some. I was thinking maybe Anthony Straker, but no, I thought Frank Musa in the end. Reason being, the season before he left, this is the only thing that convinced me. He apparently had a terrific season. He was up and down the line, he was creative, he rarely lost the ball. He was a tricky player to play against, apparently. I don't remember much of it. I remember the name quite well, just because I think he's the only player named similar to an animal that's done well for us. Like, yeah, Frank Musa. You've got Sean Gota as well. He was a great player, or Joe Pigott. But no, he had a terrific season. He was always that underdog when he came up against other players. You always thought, oh, he's going to lose it. But no, he was really creative with the ball, and he kept holding it. So I think our winger choice here is very good. They're very tricky, very pacey to get past. But no, I reckon Frank Musa and Mark Gower are a solid choice for these two positions. Moving into the two centre mids now, boys. I'm going to keep them both in that central position, not as defensive or attacking, just straight in the middle, because I feel both these players were brilliant in that central position. It is Ryan Leonard and Kevin Mayer. We're going to start off with Leonard here. He's that box-to-box player you love. Everyone, I don't think no one could argue he was probably one of our best midfielders of all time. He used to make runs all the way from maybe the attacking end of the field down to defending. He controlled that midfield so well. Him and Drew Yearwood together was a perfect combination. Drew narrowly misses out on this starting 11, just for the fact maybe he did make a few mistakes, but he was a great little player always to have. But no, Leonard, he won 3 player of the seasons in a row, I believe it was. I think it was Dan Bentley, and then after that it was 3 Ryan Leonards, I think, or he was a fan's favourite for sure. But no, he definitely makes that for me. I cannot argue or replace him with anyone. And Kevin Mayer, he was the captain that got us back-to-back promotions all those years ago under Steve Tilson. He's a leader on the field, on and off. He did so much for Southend. And then even when his playing career was over, he stayed with Southend. He was the academy manager, and I think he became the assistant manager for a short time as well. He was involved a lot with the club. To see him do that, to not like go away straight away after his playing career, was just amazing to see. You just love to see your former players from any team come back and do something for the club. Maybe, like I said, the academy, the backroom staff, the injuries, just anything like that I love to see. So Kevin Mayer definitely makes this list, as does Ryan Leonard, both a very strong midfield. Now, this is what I know you're looking for to. Who are my 2 up top? We've had so many good options over the years. We've had Freddie Eastwood, Wayne Gray, Simon Cox, Niall Ranger, Barry Corr. Who else? We got Marc-Anton Fortuné. We had so many options, but I'm going to say both of them now, just for the confidence out of them, is Freddie Eastwood and Barry Corr. Reason being for that, we'll start with Eastwood. He was a gem of a player for us. He came from Grays to us, then he left for a few years and came back to finish off his playing career with us. It was amazing to see. Out of all of his 179 appearances, he got 63 goals in that time. That might be more. I'll have to double check that. I did go through Wikipedia, counting it all up. That's what I believe I got. And just the brilliant thing about Freddie is he was that that young creative player. No one expected him to be doing what he's doing. That goal, which is famously remembered against Man United, that free kick, I'm sure everyone, every Southend fan, even some other fans from teams have seen it. It was a crack of a free kick. We are the only team to be 100% against Man United and Sir Alex Ferguson's team, which was great to see. And even on his debut, he scored within 7.7 seconds, I think, or 7.5 seconds it took him to score his first goal against Swansea. Brilliant to see. He came straight into our team. Loved every second of watching him. Even on YouTube recently, I've been searching up the Freddie Eastwood da-da chant. It's just been so amazing having him play. I miss him so much to play. If we could have him back in his prime now, I would. And Barry Core, big bad Barry Core. You've got to remember the name. I remember against Burton in the playoff semi-finals, he was a machine for us. Everything he did for us was amazing. I was 155 appearances. He got 50 goals. It was brilliant to see. Every time that ball was crossing the box, you knew he was going to get his head on it, maybe assist it, maybe score it, bring it down. You just don't know. It's just, he was so great to watch, and he was a real fan's favourite to watch from the sidelines or from anywhere. He came up and got a photo with me dad one time when we were playing at Morecambe. I'll try and find that photo. That's going to involve a bit of digging out. We were going to go up, and he came off from his training. He just said 1 second, came over and took a photo of me and my dad. I took the photo at the time, but no, it was great to see. I loved every second of him. So no, those two strikers I love with all my bloody heart. I think if we have them back in their prime, this team that I've just mentioned, this starting 11, would be a great team and would challenge any League One team straight away. You've got from experience down to pace, down to like a goalkeeper who kept 11 clean sheets in a row, to strikers who's one's tall, could lay off the faster one, or one's fast who could cross it in or lay it off. Anything. You've got brilliant wingers, heart centre for me. The central midfield is brilliant, strong, pacey, creative. So no, I think for that starting 11, we have a very strong side that would challenge anything easily. I'm going to move on to the subs now, as I felt like subs would be a good thing to include in this, just because, you know, you can't just have a starting 11 with no subs. That's not how you play the game. So the first, if I can get my words out, the first substitute I'm going to make that will be the goalkeeper, which is Daryl Flahaven. I could not include him. It's going to be him or Bentley, either way around. Flahaven, with those back-to-back promotions to us, he was almost like a cat in goal. He had the reflexes of anything brilliant. He could get in the way of everything. He would stop everything. If he conceded, it had to be a good shot, or maybe he just get unlucky. He made 356 appearances for the Blues, so you knew he was almost a one-team guy. He just wanted to stay. And then I did not find out how he left, but yeah, I just had to put him in there for all those things. I've got him on DVD, the 2005-06 season, and what's been shared on Twitter recently about him. It is brilliant to see. So Daryl Flahaven makes the first substitute. Moving into two more substitutes here, they're going to be for the defence, which is Spencer Pryor and the newly formed Tom Clifford. I'm going to start with Spencer Pryor. He made 210 appearances for the Blues. He began his career here. I think he was just signed up straight away. I looked on Wikipedia and it said his first registered team was Southend United, so I can't argue with that. He started his playing career off with us. He made 210 appearances. He was a solid centre-back alongside Andy Barrett. They were a great pairing. Even him or Barrett and Effie Socha, it was a great pair. It was a great team, I've got to say. But no, he is definitely a strong candidate, and he just missed out on the starting 11. As for Tom Clifford, you know, he's come into this team very recently. He's the only player on this list that I'm willing to put into this greatest 11, just for the fact he's a star player for the future. He's got the making of a great left back. He cannot fault him in any way. If he makes a mistake, he makes up for it straight. He'll get back in, make the tackle, win the ball back. He is a great left back to watch, and yeah, I can't fault him. His free kicks are excellent as well. Even when his first game, I remember he had a free kick just outside the box. I don't know, I think it hit the post and went out, or it was just saved. It was a brilliant free kick to watch. So no, Tom Clifford and Spencer Pryor, both defenders that makes the substitutes bench. Moving on into two midfielders now that I really think make this team very well. Both played together at the same time under Phil Brown. It is Michael Timlin and Will Atkinson. Timlin, no one could argue his passion for the club. No one. He'd always been there. He'd be almost that player that wouldn't mind taking the yellow card or going in for the hard tackle. He was our hard man, I felt. He was willing to go in for all those challenges, even if, like I said, it involved a card. The passion he showed on the field was amazing. He'd try and fire the team up. If anyone has seen the Wembley game back on DVD or online, you can see he's trying to drive the team up throughout the match. I remember watching that. His most famous goal, I've got to say, is either against Luton, where he shot it straight at the keeper, and the keeper dropped it and it rolled through his legs, or against Stevenage in the playoff semis, when he had the head cap on. He went round tons of players and just hit it in the corner, and it went straight in. That was brilliant to watch him. just what he showed after he scored that goal, just pure passion, just running over, celebrating. You could tell he loved that club. Even when he was played at left back by Phil Brown for some unknown reason, he still was brilliant about him. And Will Atkinson, I think ever since he left, we've missed a right mid like him. He would always be up and down that line like crazy. He had the drive to go for the ball. Even if it was a 50-50, he'd drive in to go get it. Even if he thinks you're going to lose it, he's still going. The determination he showed on and off the field was brilliant to see. And ever since he left, I don't think we've been able to match much of a right mid for him. You could argue McLaughlin maybe, Sam McQueen when he was here, maybe all of those players could have been mentioned, but no, ever since Atkinson left, I felt maybe we've just missed this kind of player. So Michael Tillman and Will Atkinson, very solid picks for the subs bench, I feel. Moving into the two strikers here, as I've mentioned before, we've got loads of them that we could put on here, but these two, I reckon I just remember them well, and that they were always really good players for us, and that is Wayne Gray and Lee Barnard. Wayne Gray made 83 appearances, scored about 20-odd goals. He was always that player, remember. Him and Eastwood together up front was a classic thing. You could always see Wayne Gray chasing the ball, going for the shot, going for the header. And I remember famously against Bristol City, I believe it was, in a play when we were about to finish the season, we had already won the league. No, we were first and second. Second was Colchester, first was Southend, and he scored in the 87th minute to give us the title over Colchester, which is always a great thing to see. It's back in about 2006. I think it's when we went up from the second division up to what was League One at the time. I believe that was it, or it might have been the Championship. I'll have to double check that one. But no, I remember he scored against Bristol City and it gave us the title in the last minute. And I was there when I was a little wee pip, just ready, watching the game, just watching and saw that goal. It was easily remembered. And Lee Barnard, most people a bit 50-50. I always saw him as that classic goal poacher. He'd always be hovering in the box, around the penalty area, at the back post, ready to put it in. In his 97 appearances for Southend, he scored 37 goals. So he has a better record than Wayne Gray, if you add it all up correctly. But no, Lee Barnard, like I said, he was always that goal poacher. You would never miss him in the box. You could see him wherever he is. He'd always drive, go for a shot, even if it just missed or it was safe. He'd still keep going throughout the game, which I love to see about him, the determination. And he had a great passion for us, I felt. I remember when he first came back on loan against Crawley, scored a penalty, and that was really something really happy to see. But no, boys and girls, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I'm not going to choose a manager just for this because we've had so many good ones and I feel it could start a war on Twitter or in the comments down there. So no, you can choose the manager, boys and girls, leave that down below. But no, I'm going to wrap up the video. I hope you've all enjoyed. Once again, sorry about the previous video not being so great. I've tried to make up with this one. So hopefully you all enjoy this video, boys and girls. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Even when I post videos, you get a little notification on your phone, your iPad, your MacBook, whatever you've got. But no, boys and girls, my name's been Diversity, and it goes a little something like peace.